me if it's going to make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, what? No, what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah. There is no way I am going to your club, and why not? Why not? Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I detectively follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori is full of energy. Swings open the classroom door. Sorry, I'm really bad at reading out loud. Everyone, the new member is here. Oh my god, it's like the from Just Monica. Okay, guys, I was definitely a Doki Doki Literature Club kid when I grew up, and I was so invested in all like the songs, like Doki Doki Forever and Just Monica and all that. I loved it. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you, Yuri. Sayori always says nice things about you. Oh, seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Yes, I am a man. I'm definitely a man. Mori, what a nice surprise. Hello, Monica. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Can't say it's wrong there. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognise. Her figure is a small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. And, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? No, it's not right. That's right. It's great to see you again, Mori. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we're in the same class. We were in the same class last year. Okay. That makes a bit more sense. Monica was probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having a smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Don't feed the fire. Come sit down, Mori. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Wow! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Oh, that's so cute. Sorry, I hiccuped. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. That's adorable. So cute. Oh, so cute. So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the first one, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full as she has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcakes around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Wait, her eyes are so pretty, there's like blue and yellow there. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? Finally, I bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavour. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for you know, you, dummy. Alright. I hope you guys like my Sunday impression. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She Thanks, Yuri. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Yeah. Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really, I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I can't really put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Siri sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. I'm not a dead. Natsuki, you write your own poems. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I hiccuped again. I understand now how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Well, I hope so, because they're like in a literature club. I don't know though. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it can help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Mori? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and graveyard. Stop. Raindrops. Heaven sent. Yes. Massacre. Stop. Let's just pick one for the laughs. Awesome. Doki. 12. Daydream. Clouds. Disarray. Is this actually going to make a poem? Hi again, Mori. Glad to see you didn't run away from us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I kept my word. Or keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I'm sad we didn't actually get to write a poem. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Mori. I hope this isn't too overwhelming for a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Siri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Wait, I look, you got a hiccup. Like, big. Sorry, I made myself a matcha, iced matcha, and I'm paying the price. Everyone like shits on matcha, but I love matcha. Sorry, I'm swearing. I'm so bad at not swearing, I'm sorry. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Mori always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work. Without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Siri, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Oops, sorry, I just hit my desk. Is that so? Don't hear me. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. What do you mean by that? How come you and Mori can become good friends? How come you and Mori can become good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she has put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like it was a big deal. Like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want me to. Or if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read. It should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave me, right? I mean, obviously it's going to be the book that we gave her. You can see the front cover. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Yeah, right. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, I stopped at the bookstore. When I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Oh, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. She bought us the book. Money in this economy. We need to thank her. I'm glad to hear it. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There is an ominous looking eye symbol on the front of the cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't actually give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. I remember this. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Mori? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plan. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But if I feel like I shouldn't let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. Okay, so Yuri's like just me, I guess. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. I'm sorry, Discord. I don't care. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. ... let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. As soon as I feel her presence over my shoulders, it's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulders as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe just a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book always meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own violation. I don't know what I said. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. What do we mean by that? My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side, and she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kinda reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something worse. What wrong? I'm sorry, I'm so bad at reading out loud because I'm so used to reading in my head. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Mori, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Ugh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay everyone. She's here. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time to wait, if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from fishing in her thoughts. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. It's alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters on your own, in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it into my bag. Yeah, I don't do that. I fold the page. I know a lot of people don't like folding the page, but I don't care. I fold the page. I have like 2 or 3 bookmarks, but I can just never find them. So I turn the page. I bend the page. I fold the page. Kill me. Sue me. I don't care. I'm sorry. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. That's a lie. I write poems all the time. Though I kinda haven't really been writing as much in 2026 as I did in 2025. But I'm sure more inspiration will come to me soon, at some point. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognise in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. Interesting, I've never thought of that before. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanour totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. I think it might take you some time, but it all comes together, comes with practice and by learning by example and trying new things. Sorry, I just had like a brain fart. Like, I like genuinely zoned out. I'm sorry. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologising to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. Okay, I think I'm going to read Natsuki's poem, and then I'm going to log off because my eyes are kind of hurting. I'd love to share my thoughts on the process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay, let's get into the mood. Ghost under the light, okay. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air. Wait, is that calm? Yeah, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That's so cute. I love that. I really like this. What the hell? Okay. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. I'm not going to disagree with you there, girlie. I'm sorry, I struggled there. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Okay, so I'm lying again.